A mother, a crying baby, and a flight attendant's shocking act of violence. The cabin gasps, passengers erupt, and the crew scrambles, until the truth about who the woman's husband really is shatters the balance of power in seconds. The cabin lights glowed soft and golden as passengers settled in for the evening flight. A baby's faint cry broke through the steady hum of engines, a sound that every parent knows and every passenger has heard before. Cradling her child against her chest, Naomi Johnson, a poised black mother in her early 30s, rocked gently, whispering lullabies under her breath. Her face carried both exhaustion and love, the marks of countless sleepless nights and endless devotion. Most passengers turned toward her with quiet understanding, offering small smiles of sympathy. But not everyone. From the corner of the first-class cabin, a flight attendant's sharp eyes fixated on Naomi with thinly veiled irritation. The woman's jaw tightened each time the baby whimpered. Her steps grew heavier, her voice clipped as she addressed passengers around Naomi with forced cheer, yet when she turned back, her expression was icy. Naomi shifted uncomfortably. She had traveled many times before and knew the subtle looks, the whispers, the unspoken message, "You don't belong here." But she ignored it, focusing instead on her baby, humming softly to calm him. The tension escalated when the baby began to cry louder during takeoff. Naomi patted his back, whispering, "It's okay, sweetheart. Just a little longer." The cries pierced the cabin, but they were the natural cries of an infant in discomfort. Still, the attendant stormed over, her voice dropping its veneer of politeness. "Ma'am, you need to control that child. People paid good money for this section." Naomi blinked, startled. "He's just a baby. I'm trying my best." "I said control him," the attendant snapped. "If you can't, maybe first class isn't the right place for you." Gasps rippled across the nearby seats. A businessman muttered, "That's uncalled for." A woman shook her head, whispering to her husband, "She's doing everything she can." Naomi swallowed her hurt, rocking her baby harder, trying to block out the venom in the attendant's tone. She whispered, "It's okay, just breathe. Ignore her." But the crying didn't stop, it only grew louder. The baby, sensitive to the change in cabin pressure, wailed with red-faced intensity. Naomi stood, bouncing him gently, swaying in the narrow space near her seat. Her movements were tender, maternal, desperate to soothe her child. Then it happened. The attendant's patience snapped. With shocking speed, she stepped forward, her face twisted in disdain. And in a moment that would scar everyone who witnessed it, she raised her hand and slapped Naomi across the face. The sound cracked through the cabin like thunder. Naomi staggered, clutching her baby protectively against her shoulder, her eyes wide with shock. The infant's cries grew frantic, now filled with terror. The entire cabin froze. Gasps, curses, shouts, all at once, the silence shattered into chaos. "Did she just hit her?" someone yelled. "Oh my God!" another cried. "Call the captain right now!" Naomi's hand trembled as she touched her cheek, the sting of the slap burning deeper than her skin. Tears welled in her eyes, not just from pain, but from the humiliation, the audacity, the cruelty. She held her baby tighter, whispering, "Mommy's okay. Mommy's okay." Passengers leapt from their seats. A man shouted, "You don't ever touch a mother holding her child." Another woman snapped, "You're going to lose your job for this." The attendant's face paled as the reality of what she'd done began to sink in. She stammered, "She was disturbing the cabin. She needed to." "No," a passenger cut her off. "You assaulted her. In front of all of us." Before the attendant could argue further, a voice rang out from the back of the first-class cabin. Deep, commanding, filled with restrained fury. "What's going on here?" Heads turned. A tall man in a perfectly tailored suit stepped forward, his presence alone drawing every eye. His stride was purposeful, his jaw set. His eyes locked onto Naomi first, softening as he saw the red mark on her cheek, then hardening again as they shifted to the trembling flight attendant. "Marcus," Naomi whispered, her voice breaking. Relief and anguish poured into that single word. Passengers gasped again, whispers spreading quickly. That's Marcus Johnson, isn't he? The attendant swallowed hard. Sir, she was disrupting the cabin and... But Marcus raised a hand, silencing her instantly. His voice was quiet, dangerous in its calm. You put your hand on my wife, while she held our child. The weight of the revelation crashed over the cabin. The passengers' murmurs became an uproar. His wife? Oh no, she hit the owner's wife? Because Marcus Johnson wasn't just Naomi's husband. He was the CEO and principal owner of the very airline they were flying. The attendant's knees seemed to buckle. I didn't know. Marcus stepped closer, towering over her, his voice low and cold. It doesn't matter if you knew. You should never, ever treat another human being, much less a mother, like that. Your uniform doesn't give you power to abuse. He turned to the captain, who had now rushed forward, pale and frantic. She's done. Escort her off this flight immediately upon landing. And you, he gestured at the wide-eyed crew. Take note. I will personally review every member of this team after tonight. Passengers erupted into applause. Some stood, cheering, clapping with relief and vindication. The businessman from earlier shouted, That's justice! Others leaned toward Naomi, murmuring words of comfort. You're so strong. We're with you. The attendant was ushered away, shaking, tears streaking her face. But no sympathy came. The damage was done. Marcus knelt beside Naomi, cupping her face gently, examining the reddened mark. His voice softened, stripped of anger. Are you okay? Naomi's eyes filled, her voice breaking. I'm fine. Just glad you were here. He kissed her forehead, holding her and their baby close, his voice carrying enough for those around to hear. No one harms my family. Ever. The baby, as if sensing the calm return, quieted in his mother's arms. The cabin slowly settled, but the weight of what had just occurred lingered, heavy and unforgettable. And for the rest of that flight, every passenger knew they had witnessed not only an act of cruelty, but an act of justice, a reminder that arrogance collapses when truth is revealed, and that behind every uniform, every title, every seat, we all answer to the same measure of humanity. What would you have done if you saw that moment unfold right in front of you? Would you have spoken up? Stories like this remind us how prejudice and abuse of power can be exposed in an instant. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful stories that reveal the truth behind injustice.